three essentials to happiness in this life: something to do, something to love, and something to hope for. Life is not a problem to be solved. Just remember to have something that keeps you busy doing what you love while being surrounded by people who love you. Everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of the human freedoms: to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way. There is nothing wrong with enjoying life's pleasures as long as they do not take control of your life as you enjoy them. Our Ikigai is different for all of us, but one thing we have in common is that we are all searching for happiness. A happy man is too satisfied with the present to dwell on the future. We are all going to die. Some people are scared of dying. Never be afraid to die, because you are born to die. The happiest people are not the ones who achieve the most. They are the ones who spend more time than others in a state of flow. Be led by your curiosity and keep busy by doing things that fill you with meaning and happiness. A donkey that is tied to a post by a rope will keep walking around the post in an attempt to free itself, only to become more immobilized and attached to the post. The same thing applies to people with obsessive thinking who become more trapped in their own suffering when they try to escape from their fears and discomfort. Simply interacting with others, playing a game, for example, offers new stimuli and help prevent the depression that can come with solitude. We often think that multitasking will save us time, but scientific evidence shows that it has the opposite effect. Even those who claim to be good at multitasking are not very productive. In fact, they are some of the least productive people. Our brains can take million bits of information, but can only actually process a few dozen per second. When we are multitasking, what we are really doing is switching back and forth between two tasks very quickly. Unfortunately, we are not computers adept at parallel processing, and hence we end up spending majority of our energy switching between various tasks. So multitasking is never a good option if you are working on something concrete and valuable. When presented with new information, the brain creates new connections and is revitalized. That is why it is so important to expose yourself to change, even if that means stepping out of your comfort zone and feeling a bit of anxiety. You have to accept that the world, like the people who live in it, is imperfect, but that it is still full of opportunities for growth and achievement. Here is one meaningful lesson that we can learn from Japan. When doing business in Japan, process, manners, and how you work on something is more important than the final results. Here is how stress affects your body. Researchers at the Heidelberg University Hospital conducted a study in which they subjected a young doctor to a job interview, which they made even more stressful by forcing him to solve complex math problems for 30 minutes. What they discovered was that his antibodies had reacted to stress the same way they react to pathogens, activating the proteins that trigger an immune response. The problem is that this response not only neutralizes harmful agents, it also damages healthy cells, leading them to age prematurely. Imagine that a writer has to finish a novel in 3 months. The objective is clear. The problem is that the writer cannot stop obsessing over it. Every day he wakes up thinking, I have to write that novel, and every day he sets about reading the newspaper and cleaning the house, etc. etc. Every evening he feels frustrated and promises that he will get to work the next day. Days, weeks and months pass and the writer still hasn't gotten anything down on the page, when all it would have taken was to sit down and get that first word out, then the second, then the third, then the fourth, to flow with the project. As soon as you take these first small steps, your anxiety will disappear and you will achieve a pleasant state of flow in the activity you are doing. You just have to take that first small step.